Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to go over some news and talk a little bit about how the market is now finally recovering. We saw today Bitcoin finally break back above $10,000, and that's a very key sign, right? It just really shows that the strength is finally coming back into the marketplace, and it's just good for cryptocurrencies overall. There are some cryptocurrencies that were doing very good over the past couple days that are now pulling back a little bit, most notably Litecoin and Ethereum Classic, but that's just because those two had some pretty big moves while the others were, kind of trailing a little bit. And we do have some pretty big movers actually today. VeChain is one of them. I will go over the technical analysis on VeChain in just a second because I do want to cover it since it's a pretty big mover, and I know that a lot of you want to maybe see it in the daily crypto update. So if that is something that you do want to see added, let me know. I know a lot of you also want Icon added, so just let me know if you're interested in me adding those two cryptocurrencies. One thing that I did want to mention about my schedule is I will be removing Vertcoin, Monero, and OmiseGo from the daily crypto updates from here on out, and those three will be replaced by Stellar Lumens for the time being. And that's just to reflect the feedback that I'm getting from you guys, right? So if you're not happy about this change, don't get mad, don't start disliking the video, just let me know in the comments and I'll reconsider everything. Feel free to give me your feedback. I just want to try to make these daily crypto updates the best possible, keeping them pretty short and keeping the quality as high as possible, really. So that's my goal. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter. That's where I give my live cryptocurrency market updates. So I'll have a link to that, in the description of this video in the comments below. But just to go over some news, Nano announced the release of its node version 10. And, really the key thing is at the bottom of the statement here that this release is the precursor to their full UI redesign that's going to be released in the near future. So, Nano obviously had a lot of drama recently, but you have to keep your eye on the bigger picture. It has good technology, right? And the team is really working on making Nano the best possible, the best it could be, right? As far as wallets go and everything like that. Good to see them moving forward on that, and hopefully, all the BitGrail stuff does come to an end, but it's still a looming problem as of right now. That being said, the price is recovering. I'll get to that in a second. One other big news today is that Coinbase is once again in the crossfire here. Now, what happened was people were getting some unexpected bank charges, leaving them with some massive overdraft fees. A bunch of people were mad about it. The fact is that Coinbase wasn't really able to scale with the high demand it had. It left them with one, giving very poor customer service, and two, having a lot of problems popping up that they weren't able to fix really. They had a bunch of problems with wire transfers, and now this whole issue with overdrafts. I personally haven't had any problems with Coinbase and GDAX, but I understand that with the amount of people that they had coming on the platform, they weren't really able to scale properly, and it's on them, right? That was their fault to not take that more seriously. Hopefully this gets resolved quickly, but it's just not, a good image for Coinbase here, right? They've definitely not been on their A game. But let's go ahead and take a look at Nano and see what's been going on as far as the price action is concerned. So we had a pretty big drop. We actually dropped below 90,000 Satoshis, and we went all the way down to around 82, 83,000 Satoshis. That's where we bounced. Now, because of, the market bouncing and the Node 10 release, we're finally seeing some optimism come back into play, and we actually made our way back above the downtrend line over here. Now that's pretty key, right? Hopefully this holds. And one thing that I will say is, the next thing that we're going to want to see is a break back above 100,000 Satoshis. We didn't manage to do it this time around, so we may still see this, kind of consolidate a little bit longer in between either the downtrend line and this 100,000 Satoshi level, or just in between 90,000 and 100,000 Satoshis if it is a bit weaker. But either way, the fact that we're back above this downtrend line is very good as long as we hold above it. And hopefully, we're going to see Nano be able to get back above 100,000 Satoshis pretty soon. That will really be a great confirmation. Ideally, 105,000 Satoshis would be a great confirmation as far as letting us know that we can expect to start moving higher again. But really, breaking back above this downtrend line was very key here already. So I don't want to downplay that. We're going to go over the technicals of VeChain first, and then we're going to go onto Bitcoin in our normal schedule. But VeChain is looking very good right now. What we saw happen was a pretty massive breakout above 54,000 Satoshis, which was a pretty strong resistance level. And now that we're back above that, we're also made our way back above the middle band, which is pretty key. We also have this little uptrend going, and we have successfully broken out of the downtrend that we were in. So these are two really good signs, and I think we're going to be ready to move up pretty quickly now, back towards the all-time highs, which are at 81,000 Satoshis. There is a little bit of resistance, about midway there near 65,000 Satoshis, maybe a little bit below that, near 63,000 Satoshis. But either way, I don't see it being too much of an issue. The volume is good. Indicators look great here. It looks like we're about to get our crossover on the MACD and histogram, and we also broke out of the downtrend line on the RSI. So indicators are bullish. Now just have to see how it acts around that 63,000 Satoshi level. Probably going to see a little bit of a pullback there, but either way, I believe this pink uptrend line right here will hold, and that we will be moving higher back towards the all-time highs pretty quickly here for VeChain. That being said, let's go over and take a look at Bitcoin now and see what Bitcoin has been doing throughout all of this. So it's looking good here, guys. Bitcoin is back above $10,000. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And we do still have a little bit of resistance ahead, namely the red downtrend line over here, and after that, the $12,788 mark. And then we're pretty much ready to really start moving back towards $20,000, which I think is going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But the indicators are looking great, all starting to really uptrend nicely. Volume is strong, and we're back above the middle band. So I'd say I expect the price to kind of bounce up and down while trending higher in between these two pink trend lines right here. And really, as long as we hold this current uptrend line, I'd say nothing really to worry about. We'll just have to see how we act around, initially this red downtrend line. We may struggle a little bit there, and then once again near $12,788. But either way, I think that we're moving higher in this channel now. Let's go over to Ethereum and see what Ethereum has been up to. So Ethereum is back above that $917 mark, which was a pretty strong resistance level. We also made our way back above Bollinger middle band, which was at $916. That's the red line right here. And we got the positive crossover on the MACD, histogram, RSI back above that 50 line. All very good bullish signals as far as the indicators are concerned. I will say, though, that we are going to face some resistance at $1,000, obviously. And we're still in our symmetrical triangle formation between our two red trend lines, right? Our uptrend line and our downtrend line over here. If cryptocurrencies remain a little bit weaker, and Ethereum specifically, it may continue to bounce a little bit up and down in this triangle formation until it gets a breakout towards the upside or downside. It will probably be towards the upside with how everything is going, especially the bullish indicators. It is always possible, if it's strong enough, that we're going to break above $1,000 basically within the next week or two. So we'll just kind of have to gauge the strength over the next couple days. But if we do break above $1,000, like I said, within the next week or two, that's going to be a very good sign and really give a good chance for Ethereum to get back towards the all-time highs sooner than expected, let's say. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin now. Like I said, Litecoin is pulling back a little bit compared to the other ones just because it already had its massive bump higher. Indicators looking good, volume is great. What we saw happen was, we tried breaking above this uptrend line right over here. That was our previous one. And we didn't really manage to hold, so right now slightly below that. Still holding above $218 though, which is really good. We do want to try to hold above that ideally, but either way, like for Bitcoin, I think we're going to trade higher in this channel in between these two pink trend lines, right? And that's our current uptrend line and our previous uptrend line. So I believe we'll move higher in this channel. And like I said, if we're able to hold above $218, that's for the better. That means that we're a little bit stronger. Moving forward, we will have our next big resistance level at $280. So that's where we're going to have to see how it acts towards. Either way, Litecoin is looking good here. Just probably going to pull back a little bit or consolidate since it already reached that, the higher end of its channel, basically. Let's take a look at Ripple now and see what Ripple has been doing. Hopefully moving in bullish direction as well here. And we're back above $1 actually. Now moving towards $1.10. Indicators looking pretty good here. We are back above that 50 line on the RSI. And a little bit flat compared to some of the other cryptos, but we're back above $1. We're back above the middle band. So we may see a little bit more consolidation since the price is a little bit on the weaker side. But I don't think we're going to go falling lower or anything like that. I do think we're going to stay above $1, and really maybe it just wants to put in a little bit more of sideways price action until we move back towards $1.50. I do think we'll be heading back towards that within the next, week or two, maybe 3 at the most. Let's take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be NEO now, and let's see what NEO has been doing. So NEO is currently back above its middle band. That's a very good sign. That's at $119, and that's the red line right over here. We also got the positive crossover on the MACD and RSI. We've been waiting for that for quite some time. And yeah, indicators are looking good here, guys. For the resistance ahead, that's going to be the red downtrend line right over here. It's going to be probably a little bit tricky, but I do think we can manage to do so if the market allows it. Otherwise, we may test that, move a little bit lower. But either way, I think we are going to sooner rather than later break out of this red downtrend line, probably within the next week or two. And after that, it's going to be moving back towards $140, $145, and if we can get back above that, we're back to the all-time highs pretty much. So going over to XLM here, which is now the replacement for VeChain, Monero, and Omisego in these daily crypto updates, we can see that it's currently consolidating between 4,000 Satoshis and 4,529 Satoshis. So not acting the strongest here compared to a lot of these other cryptocurrencies. What we've seen is that we tried to get a break above out of the downtrend, and that did happen, right? But we fell back and found support on that previous downtrend line, which is fine, right? Nothing concerning, but it's just a little bit kind of flat compared to a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, and we didn't really get any bullish signals yet as far as the indicators are concerned. Just going to pay attention really to hopefully not move much lower. As long as we hold above 4,000 Satoshis, we're fine, but we do want to try to get back above ideally 5,000 Satoshi, I'd say, to really be back into bullish momentum. With that being said, you have to keep in mind that Stellar isn't that far away from its all-time highs, and I guess you could say it held up pretty well relative to other cryptocurrencies during the whole drop. So you can't blame it that much, but we definitely want to make sure that we don't fall too low. And I'm going to go ahead and draw in a bit of an uptrend line right here. Hopefully, this current uptrend line that I drew is going to be the level that we're going to trend higher along. So that's what I'm going to be looking for as we move forward. For now, not that much to say. It's probably going to act pretty slow unless there's some strong bounce out of nowhere, which is always possible in the cryptocurrency market. But let's take a look now at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Lisk now. We're jumping a lot of them compared to our normal daily crypto update. But Lisk is looking good here, testing that red downtrend line and really that $33 mark. So indicators looking pretty good. We see the RSI flattening out a little bit above 60. Lisk barely was affected at all by the whole drop over the past couple of weeks and has just been acting very strong, stronger than pretty much any other cryptocurrency out there. So it is acting very well. That being said, it can only do so much. And what I'm drawing in here with this pink uptrend line is, what we've been doing in the short term. So I'm also going to put this previous uptrend line in pink, and that forms our channel, which is, pretty steep. We'll see if it'll be able to hold inside of this. But if it does, we'll probably pretty quickly move back above $33, and then that'll push us back to our all-time highs. With that being said, if the market isn't able to catch up with Lisk in time, and maybe Lisk is getting a little bit too ahead of itself, it's probably going to pull back a little bit, and further down the line, we're not talking months, we're talking maybe 2-3 weeks out, going to break above the red downtrend line at that time. For now, we'll just have to see how it's doing, but it's strong. That's all there is to say, right? So even if it doesn't get that breakout just yet, it is still acting very well, and we're back above the middle band, which is uptrending. So that's yet another bullish signal. Let's take a look at Cardano now. Cardano has been a little bit on the slower side, and it broke below 4,000 Satoshis. Currently stabilizing a little bit here at 3,830 Satoshis. Still downtrending on the indicators. No sign of crossovers there yet. And until we see something start to flatten out, be it the price or the indicators, probably going to trend lower, right? All the way down to 3,000 Satoshis is our next support level, and we want to make sure we get back above. At this point, I'd say 4,000 Satoshis. That also means back above the red downtrend line to consider ourselves back into bullish momentum. For now, not looking great. It's definitely one of the weaker cryptos out there. Let's take a look at IOTA here for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. And IOTA is now back above our longer term uptrend line right here, which is exactly what I wanted to see. So the indicators are looking good as well. We've got increasing volume. We're back above the middle band. That was at $1.94. It's the red line right here. And really, now that we're back above this uptrend line, we're probably gonna trade higher. The indicators are the Bollinger Bands are trying to catch up with the price here and to flatten out a little bit. So we may still move a little bit slowly over the next few days, but things will start picking up, and then we'll have to climb through those resistance levels. But really, our bigger channel is in between our current pink uptrend line and our previous uptrend line over here. So that's the channel that we should be moving higher in, and there's going to be these resistance levels in between, but nothing really to worry about. It should move higher with the general market at this point. And with that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency markets. With that being said, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.